Hey, welcome back to class. In today's class, we're gonna add another striking angle and continue working on our footwork with our previous striking angles. So let's go ahead and let's get started. So we're gonna start off first with 10 overhead squats. So hands out to the end of the stick, squat down, raise up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, let's go ahead and jog in place just a little bit. Move your arms nice and relaxed. Once you go ahead and put the stick right in the center of your hand and rotate, flipping it back and forth. Just pump your feet a little bit, get the blood flowing to those legs. Go ahead and switch hands, same thing. And openers. So you don't have to be quite running in place, but I do want a little bit of foot moving going on. All right, open them up. Nice and wide. What you're doing with your feet, don't really care. You could be doing small footwork patterns. You could just be pumping them up and down. That's fine. And now let's go ahead and backward arm circles, opening up the chest. And I got a few pops right there. So feel those stretch all the way around. As you go here, stretch your back. And then around. And let's go the other direction. Feel that full range of motion in your shoulders in all the directions that you're moving. All right, let's go ahead and move our head around a little bit. Go side to side, front, back. And last one, let's go ahead and do some trunk twists. Nice and light, focusing on that thoracic spine. That's kind of the upper back spine area. So your thoracic spine starts like in the middle of your spine, moves just to the shoulders, top of the shoulders. We're trying to get that part warmed up. Also get a little bit of that lower spine here too. Okay, so now that we're nice and warmed up, if you're not nice and warmed up, just pause the video and warm up some more, depending on what you specifically need. Now that we're nice and warmed up, we're going to review our angle 1 and 2 strikes on a reverse triangle. So this one right here. So let's go ahead and let's hold this stick in our right hand. We're gonna start off by stepping with our right foot first as we do that right hand strike. And these are gonna be fluid strikes. So we're gonna strike angle 1, step back in, angle 2. Step 1, 2. 1, 2. Now let's go ahead and step off that center. 1, step off the center. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Make sure we're using that blade edge, pointing our knocking knuckles forward as we're striking. 1, 2. You can go back to leaving that foot there if you'd like, or you can continue moving off of that line. Up to you. Other hand is floating around. It might be at the hip, might be around the chest. Sometimes I'll go here and I'll reinforce some of these strikes. Okay, let's go ahead and let's switch to our left hand. We're gonna step off with our left foot first and strike 1. Come back, step with our right foot as we strike angle 2. Angle 1, angle 2. 1, 2. Angle 1, angle 2. Angle 1, angle 2. And notice I'm stepping out, bringing my foot in, and now I'm turning towards that back leg again to add a little bit of hips in here. That's another way to do it. That's fine as well. 2. Angle 1, angle 2. Go back to the front. 1. Cutting down at that 45 degrees, using that blade edge, bringing it to the other side. 2. Angle 1, angle 2. If you want to add a little bit more speed into it, you're welcome to do that. I'm just going to focus on swinging it and moving. I like to practice using the body mechanics, but some of the time I don't want to just sit here and swing as hard and fast as I can every single time. There's a time and place for that. It's great, but you might not want to do that all the time. Sometimes you just want to move and work on synchronization of hands and feet. Now we're going to do the exact same thing, except we're going to step with the opposite foot first. So I'm going to hold the stick again in my right hand, and I'm just going to be striking fluid, angle 1 and 2. So I'm going to step first with my left foot, angle 1, angle 2. Angle 1, angle 2. 1, 2. I can rip a few power shots. 1, 2. 1, 2. Or I can just go nice and fluid, working on that footwork while striking out. I can change the angle that I'm going in at. I can make it a tighter triangle. I can make it a much wider triangle. Let's do a few more. 1, 2. 1, 2. One more on each side. 1 and 2. Now that's good. And switch sides. Other hand. So I'm holding in the left hand, which means I'm going to step with my right leg first this time. Ready? 1, 2. 1, 2. Angle 1, angle 2. If you want to rip a few power shots, that's fine. Turn those hips. Just make sure as you're doing it, you're still hitting with that blade edge. You're not backhanding it or hitting with that palm side. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Other side or other direction. 1, 2. And let's do 3 more to the front. 1, 2, 3. Great job on that. So next thing that we're going to do is we're going to do angle 3 fluid on a reverse triangle. So we're still doing that reverse triangle footwork, and we're going to step out, and let's step out with the same side foot first. It doesn't really matter because it's only one hand, so you could be stepping in either way. We're going to step out throw this strike, remember it's a horizontal strike. It's going horizontal to the ground. Boom. Whether I'm going to the head level, shoulders, elbows, hip, whichever one you want to choose. So we're going to strike, flip it over. It's going to go end in that side load position. I'm going to bring it around our head, step back in, and the same thing on the other side. Make sure we're using that blade edge, flip it over, and back around. All right, let's go. Strike, strike, step out, and turn the hips back towards that back leg. Step out and turn the hips towards that front leg. Strike, 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 strike. Remember, as we're striking, as soon as we've cut through our opponent, our target, or the tip is just past our target, then we can flip the hand over. Strike, 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 strike. Facing the other way. Strike through, cut through. Maybe aim through my head, aim through the head. Now let's go through the belly and the belly. Let's add some power. Add some fluidity. Let's do 3 more. 1, 2, 3, and other side, or other hand. So step with that same side leg first, strike out, and turn my hips back towards my back leg if I'd like. That's where the power would be coming from. But like I said before, sometimes you don't actually need a lot of power, because we have a force multiplier. It moves a lot faster. The tip of my stick moves so much faster than my hand does. And sometimes I just have to pop them, and it'll work. Especially if they're moving in the same direction or moving towards my strike. Face the other way. Strike through. Bring it around. Strike through. Now, for me, my left side is the side where I have the most trouble keeping that blade edge orientation. My left hand just wants to flip. To me, feels just a little bit too early. So if you're having that same problem, let's fix it now. A few more. Point that blade edge through and around. And give me a few power shots and try to still feel that blade edge. Don't flip it over too early. And out. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and we're going to review our forward triangle. So we learned our forward triangle in our last class. Now we're going to practice angle 1, angle 2, and angle 3 on our forward triangle. So first one, angle 1, we're going to do it broken. So start here. Let's only do broken. I'm going to bring it back to the same side now. So we're going to step back, broken 1, broken 1. And now when I do this, I'm holding in my right hand. As I step out with my left and back, I kind of want my hips to be pulled towards my left leg. And so every time I do this, I'm kind of pulling my hip towards my left leg. Same thing, even when I step out with my right leg, I'm gonna pull my hips towards my left leg, which causes me to be a little bit more squared towards the center point that I was going to. So keep that in mind as well. Here I'm more bladed in orientation to that center, or where my opponent would be, which is like right here. Here I'm more squared to them. Bladed from them, squared to them. So let's practice motion. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn face the other direction. Practice it along with me. Bladed, squared, bladed, squared. Pulling my head back as I'm striking out. Still kind of pulling my head back as I'm striking out. And let's do 3 more. Oop, that's the wrong triangle. That's 2, and last 1, 3. Left hand, same thing. So I'm gonna step back with my left foot first. 1. Now my hips are going towards my right leg on this one. Here, as I step back with my right leg, again, my hips are going towards my right leg as I throw that. 1, 2. I'm still attacking an opponent that's in front of me for this one. Right. Imagine somebody standing right here. Turn around, I'm gonna step back with my left leg first. Front. Let's do 2 more on each side. 1, 2. Nice. Now we're going to do fluid. Same thing. 1, bring it around. 2. I'm still going to be turning my hip. Now as I hold it with my right hand, I'm going to turn my hip towards my left leg as I do this. Here and here. Go. 1, 2, 1, 2. Fluid, I can add a little bit more of that power through it. Face the other direction. Front. And switch sides. Same thing. And I'm going to step back and step back with the left foot first. 1, 2. 1, 2. And pull my hips towards that right leg. Still use that blade edge, I'm cutting through. Facing the other direction, I'm going to step back with the left first. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Again, come off of that center line. Imagine they're pressing into me. So I pop off back at an angle and strike to where I was because they took my space. And a few more from the front. Deep breath. Hey, that was just angle 1. So now we're gonna do angle 2. We're gonna do broken. So let's step, hold the stick in the right hand, step with our right leg first as we do that broken. Now with this, I'm gonna be turning my hips towards my right side. So I go here, this side, and here on this side, doing that broken hacking motion with our angle 2. So holding your right hand, step back with your right foot first. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. I could pull back and away and have my hips go to the left. I could pull hip to the right as I do this. A lot of time that sort of a power motion though turns into a fluid strike. Let's go ahead and face the other direction. Step back with our right. 2 and 2. 2 and 2. We can move off that center. Might hit and exit. I might be hitting and moving my body back out of the way as they're striking. Maybe they're striking with a 2 and I hit their arm. A few more. Other side, same thing. Now, left hand, left leg steps first, back, 2, 2. Broken 2, broken 2. And when I do this, I try not to just stay here. See how my head is very in the same place? I want to move my head back as I'm doing these strikes. Notice how my knees are bent and kind of down low. I'm not just kind of standing here as I do it and down. I want to be able to press off my feet real fast as I move through this. Boom, boom, boom. And the other side. And down. And a few more from the front. Great. What's next? Fluid. You're so smart. Let's do fluid. So we're gonna step back with our, holding our right hand in our, what chamber position is this? Cross chamber position? Oh, you're so smart still. Step back with our right leg, strike fluid, bring it over, step back with the left, fluid. Step back with the right, and turn my hips that direction, turn my hips this direction. Towards the right leg, hips turn towards the right leg. Again, add a little bit of power in these, if I would like, or I can just work on being nice and fluid with these. Breathing, don't hold your breath. I'm gonna exhale, breathe out on every one of those strikes, especially if you start adding power. From the other side, strike, strike, make sure you end in this shoulder load position. Bring it over to the other side, strike. And now sometimes you'll see me, after I do the strike, I'm here. Sometimes I'll keep the stick touching me as I go for this. And sometimes I'll just raise it up. Right? I think a lot of the time it kind of depends on the momentum. If this stick is down and I still have some momentum, I might keep it closer to me. But if I'm just kind of in this position already, right, I just threw this, I might just go here as opposed to going around. Okay. Play around with both of them. Choose which one you like the most. Let's do a few more from the front. That's not the right stepping pattern. We're doing a forward triangle, not a reverse. I really like reverse triangles. You'll find that out. Forward has their place too, but I'm a big fan of the reverse. Okay, let's go ahead, switch hands, same thing, other side. So we're gonna step with the same side foot, stepping back with our left, hips turn towards that left side. Another direction. And a few more from the front. Guess what's next? If you said the exact same thing with angle number 3, you would be right. Okay, so broken. We're gonna step back. Since we've had this pattern of stepping with the same side that's striking, so holding the right hand, let's step back with our right leg first. And let's hit that broken strike. Remember, we're going that horizontal instead of this angled. Right, so we're not going angled, we're going horizontal here as we do this. Ready? 1, and back. 2, 1, 2. I guess I should be saying 3, 3. One side, other side. Aiming towards our target. It's right in the middle. This could be aiming towards an arm when they're striking at us. I could step and pull this and hit, and just hit the body as they're striking at us. I could just pop them real quick. Now this, what I'm doing here, I'm just kind of stopping my momentum when I throw this out so that I don't have to have as much tension on my wrist or as much pressure to pull it back. I kind of just stop. Other side, step back with the right first. And pull my hip towards my left leg. Reach out, move my head back, and hit with that side. So this is very similar to our 1. The only thing is, we're going on a slightly different angle. And sometimes that slightly different angle is all you really need to get the hit. A few more to the front. Let's do the other leg first. Again, I like to move the head out of the way. Now when I move the head out of the way, check this out for a second. I'm not going to the point where my shoulders are past my heel. Right? So I kind of have this longer stance as I do this, and I'm tilting my head back, but I don't have my weight here. Right? See how both my shoulders are past here? I'm not doing like that. This sort of a thing, going back. I'm in this position where I should be able to easily go back, right? I don't want to overlean, right? Especially if this foot has to kind of come off the ground or if they have to come together. I should be able to have a relatively longer stance and pull my head back, but I'm good here, right? I have the ability to quickly come back. I'm not overextended backwards like this, where I just can't keep my base. So I need to be able to move back and forth just as easily whenever I'm moving, right? I want to be able to strike and come back here, but I still have some weight in this leg, but if I wanted to, I could easily move back, right? So keep your balance when you're practicing this, but I do want you to be able to move that head out of the way. A lot of people are head hunters, which means they're trying to hit you in the head, and when they try to hit you in the head, get the head out of the way and just take a hand. If you take their hand, they can't really hit you anymore, right? All right, so let's go ahead and left-hand it. We're gonna step back with our left leg, and we're doing that broken angle 3 strike. Times. And I know this might feel repetitive, and it is. And that's how you get good at martial arts. You practice these basic things like moving your feet and striking at the same time. We'll get into a lot cooler and fancier drills and patterns and disarms and all the fancier stuff later. But this stuff is what wins fights. It's not this cool disarm that's going to win you the fight, because you're probably not ever going to be able to pull that off. What really helps to win a fight, if you both have a stick, is somebody striking at you, you waiting for it, and then as soon as they strike this big caveman overhand and forehand number 1, you step your head out of the way, which they're aiming right at your head, so you move back and you take their hand. Yeah, you hit here and they're no longer able to close their fingers anymore. You hit a knuckle, you break the knuckles, they can't close their hand anymore, they can't hold the weapon, and then after that, it's easy, right? If you've already taken out their dominant hand, they can't hold the weapon, it's easy. This is what's going to win that for you, is your ability to move and strike with ease. If you can do all these cool, fancy coordination drills, but you can't move your feet and strike at the same time, you're gonna get hit. You're gonna get hit. So this basic stuff that we're learning, the first level stuff, is the main thing that's gonna help you if you decide you ever wanna spar with a stick, right? Now, probably won't do that very much, but that's what actually wins the fight. We'll get to the cool stuff later though. All right, so next thing that we're going to do is fluid. So we're holding it back into our right hand. We're going to step back and we're gonna strike fluid, strike fluid, fluid, and fluid, and let's get it. 1, 2, turn my hips, turn my hips. Face this other direction. Blade edge, cut through your target, then flip. Other side, other hand. Begin. Fluid. Fluid, go to that side load, bring it around. exhale on all these strikes. Horizontal strike. Breathe. Okay, so next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna go angle 1, 2, and 3 in a row, right? 1, 2, 3, and we're gonna do this, and on 3, we're gonna bring it back around, back to the angle 1, and we're gonna do this on a reverse triangle. So the cool thing about doing this, because it's an odd number of strikes, but it's an even number of steps, right? We got our 2 steps, we have our 3 strikes. It actually repeats the other pattern, right? So on one pattern, I would be stepping with my right first. And now because I have this here, now I'm stepping with my left first on that angle 1. And I bring it back around, and now I'm stepping with my right first on the angle 1. So it's cool because it repeats, or it switches the pattern halfway through. So that's one thing I like about it, but it can be a little bit confusing because you have to remember that it is switching the pattern halfway through. So start off here. Actually, I'm going to turn my back to you just for the beginning. We're going to step with the same side first. We're going to hold it on our right hand. We're going to step with our right side, strike angle 1. Bring it back, step with the left, angle 2. Bring it back, step out with the right, angle 3. Bring it over the head, step out with the left now, 1. With the right, 2. With the left, 3. Bring it around. Together, step with the right, 1, 2, 3, around, left, 1, 2, 3. Good, I'm gonna face you. Right, 1, 2, 3, around, left. Now I'm saying the leg that's stepping, 2, 3. Right step, angle 1, angle 2, angle 3, left step, angle 1, angle 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now let's go ahead and let's put it in the other hand. I'm gonna step with our left leg first. Let me turn around. I'm gonna step with our left leg first, angle 1 with the left, step with the right, angle 2, step with the left, angle 3, around the head, now right, angle 1, left, angle 2, right, angle 3, around, left 1, 2, 3, around, right 1, 2, 3, around, left 1, 2, 3, and around, right 1, 2, 3, left 1, 2, 3, right 1, 2, 3, left 1, 2, 3, right 1, 2, 3. Breathe in, down. Cool, now we're gonna learn a new angle. So, I'm gonna give you a chance to guess. What is angle 4? Based off of what you already know, what do you think angle 4 is? Remember, this is basic. I already talked about basics win the fight, but this is basic. What do you think angle 4 is? Well, if you guessed this, you'd be wrong. All right, you'd be wrong. Angle 4 is this. It's a horizontal backhand. Broken, fluid. Broken, fluid. Pretty simple, right? 3 is horizontal forehand, 4 is a horizontal backhand. So let's go ahead and we're going to practice this on a linear line meaning linear. We're going to first go with our hack, broken strike. So we're going to strike as we move forward. And I want you to bring, since we're using our right hand, we're gonna bring our left side, hip and shoulder to the front as we scoot forward. We're gonna rechamber it back here. It could be a side load, it could be on a shoulder load, or a cross load. Either one of these is fine. And we're going to step back. And now I want my right shoulder to the front and I'm pulling my left shoulder back. So I'm gonna go forward, I square off, back, and I blade off. So I'm pressing, I'm pushing the foot closest to the direction I'm going and following up with the other one. Forward and backward. Forward and back. Forward and back. One, other hand somewhere up here. Two. One, two. One, two. One, two. Now, kind of leaning forward as I kind of reach for this, right? My shoulder is over my knee. I don't want my shoulders past my toes, but I can go shoulder over my knee, even up to my toes, just not past my toes. Here I start to lose my balance. So I can go here, and then I'm gonna press back. Boom. And I can have my center over that back leg. I just don't want the center of my chest past that back leg. That's a little bit too far for me. Forward and backward. Forward and back. Forward and back. Notice how I'm pressing off. I'm turning my hips all the way to that front on this one. And I'm pulling my hips back. I'm even turning my knee backwards out here. Because this could be boom, and then I'm taking a step and I'm running out of there because I don't want to get hit because the guy I'm fighting is 350 pounds and not fat. All right, I'm just making stuff up now, but sometimes you do just want to run away. Strike and strike. Okay, let's go ahead and let's do the exact same thing on our other side. So our left leg is now going to be in front. We're holding with our left side. We can go to a side chamber or a cross chamber position. We're going to do a little push and slide forward as our hips and shoulders square up to the front. Then we're going to bring it back and we're going to go back. Forward and back. Now notice I'm squared off this direction. I'm not squared to the front, I'm bladed from the front. Squared shoulders, bladed. Press forward, move back. Press forward, move back. Forward and back. This way. Exhale, exhale. Breathe, breathe. Horizontal strike, horizontal strike. Okay, time. Now this one's a lot easier to keep that blade edge than this one. It just feels natural, right? Easy to cut through and then flip over. Now we're going to do angle 4, fluid. So we're gonna stand just in our ready fighting position here, right? And I'm just gonna cut through here. As I do this, I'm gonna press off my back leg and I'm gonna turn my hips. I'm striking out and I'm rechamber it in as I go to my shoulder load. Right here. It's a really easy one to get power with. So practice this nice fluid motion. Let's do a few slow, and then if you'd like, you can start ripping some power through it. Just don't turn the hand over too early so that your center is here with the back of the hand pointed that way. You want our knocking knuckles pointed out till we cut through, and then flip. I'm just kind of dropping it down and bringing it back to the side. That's fine. If you want to bring it over, you could do that as well. I'm going to bring it around in front. That's fine. Boom. Go ahead and give me a few powerful shots. Turn those hips. press off with that back leg, squeeze that glute to really help push those hips through with these strikes. Turn that chest. And let's switch sides. Same thing, other side. Left foot is in front. Okay. I'm in my narrow stance. I'm not completely like heels on the line when I'm doing this, but I am relatively narrowed off and bladed off here. Start off on your side load or your cross load position and cut through fluidly. Press off that back leg, push that back hip towards the front. Strike through. Make sure that as you're doing this, we've got that blade edge orientation. We're coming around. Nice and fluid. Go slow at first. Once you feel more comfortable, then you can pick up the speed. Turn that whole body. Right? All of your body is moving as we do this. This would be kind of like I'm throwing a cross. So, it'd be like a backhand, boom, into that cross. Put that motion from when I throw across, that's how I'm ending. So I need all of this turned as if I was throwing that cross there. If you don't know how to throw a cross, go watch the Taekwondo series. Okay, hopefully you feel a little bit more comfortable now. Let's add a few powerful shots in there. Try not to flip it over too early. It does happen more when you're trying to hit it powerful. Remember, I can start on that cross load up on top of that shoulder. So do it. I can start on this side load. Give me two more, full power. Deep breath. Okay, so let's quickly recap what we did for today. First thing we did is we did our warm-up, of course. Right, we always warm up first. And then we went to our reverse triangle, doing our angle 1 and 2, making sure we did both sides where we started once with the right leg stepping for angle 1 and once with the left leg stepping for the angle 1. And then we did that on our left side as well. All of these we practiced on both sides. And then we went and did our angle 3 on that reverse triangle, going around. After that, we went and practiced our forward triangle, angle 1, 2, and 3, and we did these broken and fluid. So in the forward triangle, angle 1 here and here, angle 2, broken, broken, angle 3, broken, broken, and we did the same thing, angles, or with the fluid strikes. So angle 1, fluid, angle 2, fluid, angle 3, fluid. After that, we went to our reverse triangle again, and we did angle 1, 2, and 3 fluid, and then because it's an odd number of strikes with an even number of steps, it repeats on the other side. So then I'll step with my left leg first, doing my angle 1, 2, 3, and then it goes back to that right leg. After that, we practiced, we learned angle 4, and we practiced it with our broken strike first. Remember, angle 4 is this horizontal backhand strike. We did it with a footwork pattern moving linearly, forward and backward. After that, we did it with a fluid strike, practicing all the way through, and we added some power in there once we started to feel comfortable. Hopefully you enjoyed today's class. If you did, let me know down below in the comments. Tell me what you liked, tell me what you didn't like, tell me what I can do more of, tell me what you want me to do less of. Right? Do you want me to do all the fancy stuff? If you say yes, I'm going to ignore you right now because it's coming later anyways. But go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment. Help me out, and I will see you next week. Have a great day, you guys.